They were heavy gun battle in Okigwe and Ideato, both in Imo State, as Biafra Liberation Army, Neutralized Asari Dokubo boys and General Christopher Musa boys from the Nigerian army. This news update provides a detailed narration of the conflict and security situation involving the Biafra Liberation Army and the Nigeria Army. This news report discusses ongoing conflicts in the southeastern region of Nigeria, highlighting the Biafra Liberation Army's engagement against the Nigeria Army. Due to the strong resistance from the Biafra Liberation Army, the Nigerian military and paramilitary forces have reportedly withdrawn from some areas in the southeast, leading to discussions about the sources of insecurity. Some critics argue that the Nigerian army are responsible for much of the insecurity in the southeast region and not the Biafra Liberation Army. According to them, the Biafra Liberation have already stated that they can only cease firing once the Nigeria military leaves southeast, but the Nigeria military have decided not to leave. They are more insecurity in the north caused by Boko Haram terrorists and Fulani bandits, but the Nigeria military chooses to remain in the southeast to continue perpetuating their evil agenda. Checkpoints set up by this Nigeria military are described as tactics to use civilians as shields, with claims that they indiscriminately fire in conflicts, harming innocent people. Let me tell you a story, one that has been unfolding in the southeastern part of Nigeria, specifically in Okigwe and Ideato, two areas in Imo State. It's a story of conflict, resilience, and the search for peace amidst chaos. The people there have seen their fair share of troubles, but what happened recently was something that shook the region to its core. It all started with a clash, not an ordinary clash, but a heavy gun battle involving the Biafra Liberation Army, a group that many in the southeast consider as defenders of their homeland. They faced off against a combination of forces, including the boys loyal to Asari Dokubo and the troops under General Christopher Musa from the Nigerian army. This was not just a simple skirmish, it was a battle that left a significant mark on the land and its people. Okigwe and Ideato had been relatively quiet before this eruption of violence. The sun rose over these communities like it always did, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Farmers headed to their fields, traders prepared for another day at the markets, and children readied themselves for school. Yet beneath this semblance of normalcy, tension had been simmering. People whispered about the growing presence of armed groups, checkpoints manned by the military, and the unease that came with it all. It was like the calm before a storm. When the first shots rang out, they shattered the morning tranquility. Houses that once echoed with laughter now resounded with the staccato of gunfire. The Biafra Liberation Army had engaged the forces of Asari Dokubo and General Christopher Musa. The fight wasn't just about territory, it was about identity, control, and a fierce determination to protect what they believed was theirs. From all accounts, the Biafra Liberation Army held their ground. Led by Commander Igwe Butuzor, they reportedly neutralized the opposing forces. Stories spread like wildfire about how Asari Dokubo's boys and General Christopher Musa's troops were overwhelmed. The aftermath saw the Nigerian military beginning to withdraw their troops from parts of the southeast, including Okigwe and Ideato. This withdrawal led to a flurry of speculation and debate across the region and beyond. Critics of the Nigerian military were quick to point out that their presence in the southeast had always been contentious. Many people in the region felt that the military's operations there did more harm than good. Checkpoints set up by the army were often seen not as measures of security, but as sources of harassment and extortion. It was not uncommon to hear stories of civilians being caught in the crossfire during clashes between the military and local armed groups. The southeastern region of Nigeria has a long history of tension and unrest. For decades, the call for Biafran independence has been a rallying cry for many. The Biafra Liberation Army sees itself as the defender of this cause, standing against what they perceive as oppression from the Nigerian state. Their stance is clear. They will only cease fire if the Nigerian military withdraws completely from the southeast. However, the military has shown no signs of doing so, arguing that their presence is necessary to maintain order. This brings us to a broader question that many in Nigeria have been asking. Why does the military seem so focused on the southeast when the north is grappling with its own security challenges? In the north, groups like Boko Haram and various Fulani bandit factions have caused widespread destruction and displacement. Yet, the military's operations in the southeast often appear to overshadow their efforts in the north. This disparity has fueled suspicions and accusations of bias. For the people living in Okigwe and Ideato, the conflict has taken a heavy toll. Families have been displaced, markets have been closed, and lives have been upended. Those who lived through the battle described scenes of chaos and fear. Gunfire tore through the air, and the sound of explosions echoed across the hills. People huddled in their homes praying for the violence to end. After the Nigerian military began withdrawing, a strange calm settled over the region. Villages that had been deserted started to come back to life. People who had fled returned to rebuild their homes and their lives. Markets reopened and children ventured out to play once more. It was as if the land itself was breathing a sigh of relief. This period of calm led many to question the narrative that the Biafra Liberation Army was the primary source of insecurity in the southeast. Critics argued that the Nigerian military's actions, including setting up checkpoints and engaging in heavy-handed operations, had contributed significantly to the unrest. They pointed to the relative peace that followed the military's withdrawal as evidence of this. The Biafra Liberation Army, they said, was not targeting civilians but focusing on what they saw as oppressive forces. One of the most striking aspects of this story is how it has been told and retold by those who lived through it. Videos and messages from the region have circulated widely, offering first-hand accounts of what happened. In one such video, a man from the area passionately described the impact of the military's withdrawal. He pointed out that since the troops pulled back, there had been no reports of violence or insecurity caused by the Biafra Liberation Army. Instead, he argued, it was the military's actions that had brought chaos to the region. This perspective has resonated with many people both within and outside the southeast. It has fueled calls for a reassessment of the military's role in the region and a push for peaceful dialogue. There is a growing sentiment that the issues in the southeast cannot be resolved through force alone. Instead, they require understanding, negotiation, and a willingness to address the root causes of the conflict. As the dust begins to settle in Okigwe and Ideato, the people there are trying to move forward. Life is slowly returning to normal, but the scars of the battle remain. Homes and businesses damaged during the fighting serve as stark reminders of what happened. Yet, amidst the ruins, there is a sense of hope. Community leaders are stepping up, advocating for peace and calling for an end to the violence. This story is not just about the Biafra Liberation Army, the Nigerian military, or the forces loyal to Asari Dokubo and General Christopher Musa. It is about the people caught in the middle, the farmers, traders, and children whose lives have been disrupted. Their resilience and determination to rebuild are a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and overcome. As we reflect on these events, it is clear that the path to peace in the southeast will not be easy. The issues at the heart of the conflict are deeply rooted and complex. However, the courage of the people in Okigwe and Ideato offers a glimmer of hope. They have shown that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to dream of a brighter future. This is a story that is still being written. The people of the southeast are not giving up on their quest for peace and justice. They continue to call for dialogue, for a chance to sit at the table and discuss their grievances. They want a future where their children can grow up without the fear of gunfire and where their communities can thrive. As we listen to their voices and share their story, let us remember that this is not just a tale of conflict. It is a story of resilience, hope, and the unyielding desire for a better tomorrow. And in telling it, we honor the struggles and aspirations of the people of Okigwe, Ideato, and the entire southeastern region of Nigeria. The battle itself was intense, leaving both visible and invisible scars on the region. Eyewitnesses described scenes of fierce combat. The Biafra Liberation Army was said to have employed tactics honed over years of skirmishes, moving swiftly and decisively against the combined forces of Asari Dokubo and General Christopher Musa. Meanwhile, the latter forces were equipped with advanced weaponry and training, aiming to suppress what they considered a threat to national security. The clash wasn't just a physical confrontation. It was also a battle of ideologies, a fight for the right to self-determination versus the call to preserve national unity. Many civilians were caught in the crossfire, and their stories add another layer of tragedy to this unfolding narrative. Families fled their homes, seeking refuge in nearby towns and villages. Some trekked for miles, carrying little more than the clothes on their backs and the hope for survival. Mothers shielded their children as best as they could, while fathers tried to navigate through the chaos to find safety for their loved ones. The stories of survival are harrowing, yet they also highlight the resilience of the human spirit. Okigwe's once bustling market became a ghost town during the peak of the conflict. Traders who once called out to customers and haggled over prices abandoned their stalls. Fruits and vegetables rotted in the sun, and the scent of neglect hung heavy in the air. In Ideato, schools were shut down, leaving children without access to education for weeks. Teachers who had dedicated their lives to nurturing young minds found themselves displaced, unable to carry out their duties amidst the violence. Despite these challenges, there were moments of humanity and solidarity. Local communities came together to support one another, sharing resources and offering shelter to those in need. Churches and mosques opened their doors to displaced families, providing not just physical refuge but also emotional comfort. These acts of kindness served as beacons of hope in a time of darkness, reminding everyone that even in conflict, there is room for compassion. As the military began its withdrawal, questions about accountability emerged. Activists and human rights organizations called for investigations into allegations of misconduct by the forces involved. They demanded answers for the destruction of property, the loss of lives, and the displacement of thousands. Videos and photographs circulated on social media, showing the extent of the damage and sparking outrage among Nigerians and the international community. The Nigerian government, however, maintained that its actions were necessary to maintain order in the region. Officials argued that the military's presence was a response to escalating violence and the threat posed by armed groups. They insisted that any misconduct would be thoroughly investigated and addressed. Yet, skepticism remained high among the populace, fueled by years of perceived neglect and injustice. Meanwhile, the Biafra Liberation Army seized the moment to reinforce its message. In statements released online, the group reiterated its commitment to self-determination and the protection of its people. They painted the withdrawal of the military as a victory for their cause, a sign that their resistance was yielding results. Supporters of the movement celebrated this perceived triumph, while critics warned against interpreting it as an endorsement of armed conflict. The international community also weighed in, with various organizations calling for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. Diplomatic missions in Nigeria issued statements urging dialogue and cautioning against further escalation. They emphasized the need to address the root causes of the unrest, including economic marginalization and political exclusion. These calls for peace resonated with many Nigerians who longed for stability and progress. In the aftermath of the battle, efforts to rebuild began in earnest. Community leaders organized town hall meetings to discuss the way forward, emphasizing the importance of unity and collaboration. Volunteers cleared debris from streets and repaired damaged infrastructure, working tirelessly to restore a sense of normalcy. Women's groups played a significant role in these efforts, spearheading initiatives to support displaced families and provide for their needs. Children, too, began to reclaim their childhoods. Schools reopened, and classrooms that had once been silent buzzed with activity. Teachers returned to their posts, determined to make up for lost time and ensure that their students had a chance to succeed. Playgrounds, once deserted, filled with the laughter of children who refused to let the conflict define their lives.
Hello fans, welcome to Magnetic Beats TV. Guys, Biafra Liberation Army Commander Gentle Yahoo and his boys are neutralizing Musa boys. They are not even having pity on these Musa boys. They are sending them to judgment without any mercy. Guys, this guerrilla warfare is so serious. I'm telling you, it's so serious in Imo State and the rest of Biafra land.
Don't mind all these sabos. Don't mind all their propagandas on social media. Just be focused. We must defend our land. Understand? We must defend our land. We go nowhere. Biafra must be defended at all costs. I still remain your brother, Great Odumebu, aka Ompa. We go nowhere. One love. So, but I promise you very soon we will all rejoice. Understand? Biafra land. We go nowhere. This is our land. Biafra must be defended at all costs. One love.
So guys, if you can recall very well, there was a video I posted here 2 days ago where Asogbokubo was boasting that his men are with Musa boys fighting against the Biafra Liberation Army in Okigwe And Ideato. In that video, Asogbokubo was boasting, saying that his men has destroyed all the IPOB or ESN or Biafra Liberation Army camps in Okigwe And Ideato, which means that his boys are winning in this guerrilla warfare. But the fact and the truth is that his boys has been neutralized, with Musa boys and their tools has been collected by the Biafra Liberation Armies. Sahara reporters dished out a report this afternoon saying that Nigerian military men are withdrawing their troops from Imo State. There is a truth about that because they have never won that war. They are being destroyed by Biafra Liberation Armies under the command of Okigwe. They are being destroyed so heavily, so they are using that guerrilla warfare.
They don't want people to see what is happening.
They
don't want people to know the actual people that are causing insecurity. Now let me ask you this question. Since earlier last week that the Nigerian military and paramilitary withdraw their forces in Biafra land, how many insecurity have you seen in Southeast? Now tell me where in your village that Simon Ekpa and his boys are causing insecurity in your village. I am sending this message to so many of you that are in your various villages now in Southeast. Now tell me the Simon Ekpa boys that you saw in your village causing insecurity. This is for you to know the actual people that are causing insecurity in the Southeast. Since last week, the Nigerian military and paramilitary withdraw their forces in Biafra land. They withdraw them back to barrack. That is why you have not seen, you have not seen all those kind of bad news that you used to see before. That is why the whole thing reduced. They withdraw their forces because they know that people are coming back from different places, different country, different states in Nigeria, different places in Africa. They know that many people are coming back to village. Now they withdraw their forces. So people will not see their armor tank and all that has been happening in the southeast since for the past few months now. They withdraw their forces so that people who came back will not see them with their armor tank and how they were rolling it up and down, just like a few weeks ago. Now let me ask you, if Simon Ekpa and his boys are the one who are actually causing this insecurity, how many insecurity have you seen in your village? How many Simon Ekpa boys have you seen in your village causing insecurity? All of you that are in your village now enjoying, celebrating, walking out, walking around and doing everything, going to stream, going to football, going to what for mass. How many Simon Ekpa have you seen coming to disrupt those your activities? How many Simon Ekpa boys have you seen coming to your compound or your village killing people? Is everywhere not peaceful? Is everywhere not peaceful? Sometimes when you people talk with your senses. Now that you're in your village, how many Simon Ekpa boys have you seen coming to burn houses in your village? Did you see how the Nigerian military disappear now? So that you will not actually know the people who are actually causing these chaoses and this security in the southeast. They disappear. Just give them 3 weeks from now. They will be back. Give it 3 weeks from now. They will be back. Because by that time, they know that a lot of people have left. They will come back. You see how everywhere is peaceful in the southeast now? They left. Because they actually know that people are in their home. Those who come from outside country, they are in their home. Those who come from different African countries, they are in their home. You see how they disappeared now? Now, if truly that is Simon Ekpa that is causing insecurity, you would have been seeing it right now with your 2 naked eyes. You would have seen Simon Ekpa boys terrorizing people in your village. You would have seen them mounting checkpoints and they collecting money from people. You will have seen them coming inside the market and burning markets and kidnapping people. I am asking you, who is very useless talking on social media?
So in this video, a brother of ours narrates everything concerning the withdrawal of Nigerian troops from Biafra land, and it seems that peace is gradually returning to Biafra land because any place that the Musa boys withdrew themselves, if you go back the next week to that place, you will see that people are returning back to their homes and nobody is harassing them, nobody is disturbing them. Not even the Biafran Liberation Army, they are not harassing any individual, they are not harassing any citizen, they are not disturbing anybody. Rather, the citizens or the locals of that village are running away from their village because of the Musa boys. The things that Musa boys do each time they engage the Biafran Liberation Army in a battle and the Biafran Liberation Army dealt with them, they will take their anger into any village around them and they will start destroying or burning houses. But since they are gradually withdrawing from villages, lives is beginning to return back to those villages. You can see it in this video as my brother has narrated. Yes, sir.
Because they are using you as a passenger who is inside our bus as a shield. The reason why they are causing those traffic is because they are using you as a shield, because they know that boys will not come there, seeing that there are so many people on that checkpoint and start shooting. That is the reason why you are seeing them making sure there is a long queue and people will be passing one by one, because they know that the Biafran forces will never come and attack them where there is those traffic, because bullets, these people will kill innocent people because they don't know how to shoot now. You never see them shoot before. You need to shoot them. You need to see these people shoot. They shoot rapidly. They don't even want to know who they are shooting. They just open fire. And you know, when people shoot rapidly, that one bullet must touch one person. That one is sure. One bullet must touch one person. Whenever you see these guys in action, they don't even look at their target. They just shoot. As they are shooting, they are withdrawing back. As they are shooting, they are not even moving from. They are shooting like running back. And as they are shooting that thing, bullets will be flying. It will hit innocent somebody. It will go straight to somebody's home. It will go straight to somebody's shop. You need to see these guys in action. They are mounting those checkpoints. They are making those long queue of traffic because they are using you as who is inside that checkpoint as a shield. They are using you in that checkpoint as a shield. Because they know that if the road is very clear, men will come and attack them. They know that if there is no traffic and they are the only one who is on that checkpoint, men will come and attack them freely and go freely. Bullets will not touch anybody. So the reason why they are making that traffic is because they want to use you as a shield, because they know that Biafran Liberation Army and Biafran Resistance Fighter will never come on that checkpoint where there are many people and attack them. They can never do that. Biafran forces are professionally. They go for their target. They don't want it to affect any innocent person. They go to their barrack, they go to their checkpoint, attack them and move free. That is why sometimes you see Biafran forces go by the night to attack them, because they know by that time nobody will be on the road. Nobody will be on the road. At least the casualty will be minimized. Even if there is flying bullet that hit people in their houses where they are sleeping, at least it will minimize, but not on the daytime where there are many people out there. That is why sometimes you see Biafran forces attack them by the night when everybody is in their home. Biafran Liberation Army are not like Nigeria forces who just go. They don't care if innocent person is hurt. They don't care if innocent person is killed. Their own is just to go and do their own thing and go. They don't care about you. Biafran forces are not like that. They are highly trained professionally soldiers. They are not ragtag. They are not recruited terrorists. They are not repented terrorists. They are men that were trained professionally by the foreign forces. So I'm asking you now, who has been in Lagos, in other places, shouting Simon Ekpa is causing insecurity in the south? How many Simon Ekpa boys are there in your village now causing insecurity?
Yes, so my friends and my viewers, in this video, you can agree with our brother who is saying that Simon Ekpa is not the one causing the insecurity we have in the southeast, or we have in Biafra land generally. So he narrates everything, saying that the Musa boys are the one causing all those insecurity in the name of fighting Biafra Liberation Army. So he told people to stop saying that Simon Ekpa is the one that is causing insecurity in Biafra land or in Southeast. Since Simon Ekpa is under the Finnish government authority, has anything stopped? Is the insecurity still not there? Is a question on his lips and in the lips of almost everyone in the Biafran land who is concerned of what is going on or happening. Simon Ekpa is indeed not the one causing the insecurity, according to our brother here. Rather, the Musa boys are the one causing the insecurity, using women as a shield in order to do a lot of ill things that are doing down here in Biafra land, which they can't even try that in the northern part of Nigeria, because the number of checkpoints we have on our road are much. They are extremely much. Each of them that you passes by, you will surely give them money. Guys, this is indeed a very bad thing that is happening in the eastern part of Nigeria, Biafra as a country. God will surely help us. God will surely deliver us. But in everything, we still preach peace. Let peace be among us, because at the end of the whole thing, Biafra will come, according to the words of Mazinande Kalo. At the end, Biafra will come. Thank you, my fans. Thank you, my viewers. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my Biafran friends, and every other person, whether Biafran or no Biafran. I thank you all, and I still insist that let peace reign. Let peace reign. In a roundtable discussion, let there be a referendum. Let there be an agreement. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. Remember to subscribe with us, Magnetic Gist TV, for we remain the best. Please, if you are visiting my YouTube channel for the first time, subscribe with us and turn on your notification button.
Yeah, Ben Cockparaha. My yesterday, 4 and be 3 poor off. Look, about Andre yesterday, about Sonia de Gou. About Andre yesterday. About who you go more further. Oh, yeah. Ben Sonia de Gou. The Polanco Paraheba.
So guys, this is Ako in Okigwe State. After the war between the Biafra Liberation Armies and the Musa boys, this is Ako in Okigwe State. Life is now coming back to Ako in Okigwe. People are now returning to their homes. Why this young brother here is doing some videos to sending to most of the indigenes of that Ako, telling them that they should come back home, that the peace is now finally back to Ako. The war is over.
Hala madi hizi ben ko mo agora ben ka pesha alo so mna le me ha ka mga soro ke te kone ko na yo ka sendera ino obodo yibo somebody like oto maha la okoria ke ba ha uloria Ascended 800,000. So mark where you are. So mark okay where you are. So I am la rush comes to the Gaketekun. Is Lana Mawahan mum. On a kele to Kulan Comer. A Keloya Guaraked. The other. Ogakedi Rukwaya was. Follow Wallakebegu. Otakwale with desert. Oshaka kwanko efanya hukwa nekwebegu kwebegu ba akwa tela ta ya gba so ka ugushe dị na gbọdọgbọ ya uri fe kwuru ka mere ka ụzọ gara ụmụnne.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.